What's up, everybody? This is Jedi Master Micah coming back with another furious deck tech for you. Been talking a while about this one. Took a minute to get it together, but I wanted to make sure it was right because this is one of my favorite decks that I've ever played. The Final Fantasy set, as we all know, was really great. Came out with some incredible cards like Vivi, which got all the love. But for me, it's all about this young lady, Jenova Ancient Calamity. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a number of 1/1 counters equal to Jenova's power on up to one target creature. That creature becomes a mutant in addition to its other types. Whenever a mutant you control dies during your turn, you draw cards equal to its power. For me, that was just a very incredible ability to play with, and I loved it, so I had to put a deck together. So yeah, here we go, guys. Let me walk you through Jenova Ancient Calamity, why this is definitely one of the strongest decks that I've made. Can definitely hang against one person, 3 can control a table, and can do some serious card draw. So yeah, here we go, guys. Jenova Ancient Calamity. So, real quick, I have a card in here called Aid from the Cow. Can't remember what set this was from, but it has an interesting ability called Revolt. And basically that's anytime something leaves the battlefield, something happens. And so on this one, anytime something leaves the battlefield, I basically get to flip the top card of my library and play that card, which can be fun, very useful. And then, of course, with that theme, with Jenova, you're going to need a lot of sacrificing. And so one of the cards I have in here, the Altar of Dementia, very, very fun card to kill somebody with. You can get your creature's very, very big with Jenova and with this deck. And if you get enough big creatures, you can sacrifice them all in one turn and make them mill their entire deck. I've definitely won a few times like that. It is really fun. So this is definitely one of the win conditions I put into this deck. So I have things like Journey to Eternity, Ghost Lantern, things where basically you sacrifice them, bring them right back, and they get bigger. Have some creatures like Yawgmoth, Thran Physician, Protection from Humans, who cares? Pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature and draw a card. So that helps you with card draw. If for some reason Jenova's kind of lagging, takes a minute to get her out. Plus, it just allows you to continue to sacrifice creatures and then put the -1/1 counters and kill their stuff, which is really nice. Disciple of Bolas. Basically allows you to gain life, draw cards equal to the creature's power that you're sacrificing. Burnt Offering, just a way to get some mana. Phyrexian Altar, another way to get some mana by sacrificing. Severed Strands, a way to sacrifice, gain life, and then destroy another creature. So a lot of stuff like that, guys. Like Village Rites, drawing cards to sacrifice. Priest of Forgotten Gods, another sacrifice 2 creatures. Any number of target players each lose 2 life and sacrifice a creature, and then you add 2 black mana and draw a card. Very, very fun. Another Tormented Thoughts, sacrifice to draw cards. And then we get into some of the mana stuff. Now, with this deck, you definitely need some mana and some different ways to get it, but the quicker you get into your mana, the quicker you can do crazy fun stuff. So, for instance, I put the Eternity Elevator in here. I don't know if any of you have played with this, but in this deck, I've actually been able to station it a few times. I had 36 black or 36 green mana, I can't remember, on it one time. That was very, very fun. I basically just got to do whatever I wanted. Very, very fun. Edge of Eternities, if you guys don't know, some really, really incredible cards that came out of this set. One of the main cards that I really loved is the spacecrafts, where you can station, and it's pretty cool. You know, you don't have to keep your creature tapped to station, which I like. So again, some of the mana stuff in here: Golgari Signet, Birds of Paradise, Soul Ring, just a lot of little green creatures to be able to help me get into the deck. Poison Dart Frog gives you a little death touch. Dark Ritual, of course, if I play black, it's typically in there. Mind Stone. As you can see, there is a good amount of mana in this deck. It was about 10 to 12 mana cards. Very, very instrumental into getting into this deck. Now I have a lot of the making Jenova bigger, because as you know, at the beginning of combat, I get to put a number of 1/1 counters equal to her power. So the idea is to hopefully get Jenova bigger, bigger, bigger. That way I'm making giant creatures every turn, sacrificing them, and then either bringing them back or putting something else out. So some of the creatures, God, Eternal Bontu, Menace. When he enters the battlefield, sacrifice any number of other permanents and draw that many cards. Gravebaker Lamia, she's great because when you are casting things out of your graveyard, it costs 1 less, and there's going to be a lot of casting things out of the graveyard in this deck. Got Yugen, the Rising Star, a great sacrificing card just because when you kill it, you get to put its 5 1/1 counters onto something. So the idea being, you kill it with Jenova, you put the 5 1/1 counters on Jenova, you bring him back, and you just keep doing it over and over again. It's pretty fun. Some other creatures kind of similar, Broodguard Elite, he comes out with X 1/1 counters on it, and then when he dies, you can transfer the counters. And you can also warp him. So you can warp him, kill him, and then warp him again. Pretty fun. Grakmaw, Skyclave, Ravager, just another way to do the 1/1 counters, make him big, kind of thing. Morlin, this guy came out in the Spider-Man set. Really, really great. Another enters with a number of 1/1 counters on it. And then when he enters, he deals X damage to target opponent. So kind of a fun little card. You can bring him back, keep doing the damage. Another 1/1 counter guy, Corpse Jack Menace. If 1/1 counters will be put on a creature, put twice that many. That's obviously huge in Jenova. You know, we start stacking her up, and we start putting the counters on, and we just start doubling them. And of course, there are other ways to double counters in here, of course. Taborax, Hope's Demise, just another one of those creatures, comes out with the 1/1 counters on it. Deathbringer Regent, when she enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand and there are 5 or more other creatures on the battlefield, destroy all other creatures. There are definitely some board wipes in here. It makes a lot of sense because I can just get stuff out and bring it right back. We got Voracious Hydra, enters the battlefield with a number of 1/1 counters on it, and then it either doubles the number of 1/1 counters on it, or it fights the target creature. So a way to just kind of control your board a little bit. Cloud of Darkness, this is a Final Fantasy card. Flying Particle Beam, when Cloud of Darkness enters, target creature and opponent controls gets -X until end of turn, where X is a number of permanent cards in your graveyard. So typically I'm going to have a lot of permanents in my graveyard. Gormand, another sacrifice a creature, and then when it enters the battlefield, they have to sacrifice a creature, which I really love. And then, of course, had to put Imrakul in here, guys. Imrakul works so perfectly in this deck just because I can put it out multiple times. I can sacrifice it for 13 cards, right? And that's on top of whatever else Jenova makes it. So whatever Jenova's power is, I can boost Imrakul. So Imrakul is very huge, just to be able to get it out and then be able to sacrifice it. And then on top of that, I mean, its ability, when you put it out, you get to take control of target opponent's next turn, which you can do just all kinds of damage with. So I love that card. One of my all-time favorite cards in Magic, if you guys have never played with it. Just a great card, and I love putting it in decks. Although I feel like it has to have a theme. It has to fit. Lord of Extinction, same kind of thing. It's equal to the power and toughness of all cards in graveyards. Akwali, just gets bigger the amount of cards in my graveyard. Storev Devarkin's Lich. Let's see, Storev Devarkin Lich. How about that? When he does combat damage to a player or planeswalker, return to your hand target creature or planeswalker card in your graveyard that wasn't put there this combat. Drix Fatemaker, another +1/+1 counter guy. Skullbriar, the Walking Grave. Basically, how this guy works is when he's put into your graveyard, he keeps his 1/1 counters. Really cool. And then basically, we start getting into some of the board wipe stuff. Terror Tide, Damnation, 0 Point Ballard. If you guys don't know about this one, this is a great card. This is Edge of Eternities. Destroy all creatures with toughness X or less. You lose X life. If X is 6 or more, return a creature card put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. What a great card. Villainous Wrath. Then we got Rise of the Dark Realms, so I wipe the board and then I put everything on my side. Like I said, guys, I know that seems like a lot of mana, but with this deck, I can generate an insane amount of mana. So I have done that in numerous games where I've wiped the board and then either cast Rise of Dark Realms, something like that, to where I bring them back onto my side. Again, we talked about doubling the counters with Corpsejack's Menace. You know, we're going to have Loading Zone from Edge of Eternities in here. Basically does the same thing. And you can also warp this card, which I love. Warping is an incredible ability. If you guys don't know, basically you cast it for its warp cost, and then it's out for a turn, and then you can cast it again for its regular casting cost at any time, which is incredible. Songs of the Damned, just a little way to get extra mana at black for each creature in my graveyard, typically a lot. Of course, with black, I'm going to have a tutor in there. You know, I mean, come on. I know people don't like playing with tutors. It's a little bit of a cheat card for me. I mean, it's a 100-card deck, so you never know if you're going to get the tutor or not, right? Everyone has the opportunity to put it in there. And also, like, with Magic, it is a game of skill, chance, luck, all that. But that doesn't mean that the person is going to always tutor for the correct card, right? So, you know, it is what it is. You got to play the game. So again, Thrilling Encore, put all creatures onto the battlefield that went into the graveyard this turn. That's fun. You wipe everybody and then put them onto your... Mausoleum Secrets, another search your library for a black card of the converted cost less than or equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So it's another tutor. And then of course I'm going to have a lot of creature destruction in here, just because I want to be able to control the board and do what I want to do. So, Old School Terror, who doesn't love that? Isildur's Fateful Strike, what a great card. I believe this came out of Lord of the Rings. It's a legendary instant. Destroy target creature. If its controller has more than 4 cards in hand, they exile all cards from their hand equal to the difference. Crazy. Murder, who doesn't like a little murder? Hero's Downfall. We got Maelstrom Pulse. So those are some of the creature destruction. Of course, we want to pull stuff back from our graveyard, right? So I got a Regrowth. Regrowth, obviously, great card. Again, Death Denied. Return X target cards from your graveyard to your hand. We got Buried Alive. Search your library for up to 3 creature cards. Put them into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Fight On, return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. So as you can tell, again, return from graveyard to your hand. So I want a lot of that. 2 last cards that I have in here, and it looks like I basically walked you guys through the entire deck, so you're welcome. Plane Wide Celebration. Choose 4. You may choose the same mode more than once. Create a 2/2 citizen creature token that's all colors. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Proliferate, or you gain 4 life. Now, every single one of these is good for me. The 2/2 I can sacrifice for cards. Returning the target permanent card from a graveyard to my hand, huge. Proliferating, obviously, is huge. Just keep boosting on those counters. Or I gain 4 life. Usually, I'm not going to gain the 4 life. And then the last but not least, card that you have to have in here, or something like it, your Reliquary Tower. Just because you're going to draw a lot of cards. I'm not kidding when I say that I was able to put Imrakul out, I think, 4 times. Take control of their board 4 times. Really fun stuff. And every time you're drawing cards. The only thing is you just got to make sure that you don't run out of cards because, yeah, you can draw a whole heck of a lot of cards. And to top it off, you can frustrate everybody that you play with because you're going to control the board and do whatever you want. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We ask that you please like and subscribe. Don't be lame. We know every channel asks you for it, but especially small channels like us trying to grow our reach. We super appreciate it. All right, thank you so much. Come back for the next Deck Tech, guys.